I'm going to put the notes up for you for Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star is a fun little tune to play. It's a good tune to learn to play the keyboard, but even if you're a good player, it's fun to play. Mozart enjoyed Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, as did an awful lot of the classical composers. Traditional tune from an old English rhyme, but I'm going to play it in the key of C, and it starts on a C. C, C, G, G, A, G. F, F, E, E, D, D, C. Then it repeats. C, C, G, G, A, G. F, F, E, E, D, D, C. Then we'll go on with the chorus. G, G, F, F, E, E, D. G, G, F, F, E, E, D. C, C, G, G, A, G. F, F, E, E, D, D, C. Should be able to play that in one sitting with the right hand. Now in the left hand, you've got three chords: F chord, a C chord, your F chord, and the G chord. However, in this piece, I'm going to play the C chord just like that, 1, 3, 5 on C. Now the F chord would be 1, 3, 5 on F, but I'm going to put the C down here. So without moving my hand, I can go from C chord to F chord, back to C chord. Now watch how it works in the melody. C chord. When I move to that A, my chord is going to change to an F chord. When I move to the G, it's going to move back to the C chord. Now for the G chord, I'm going to play a G7. And that's at the end, there's a cadence that Mozart always liked, where he would go from a 5-7 to 1, 5-7 to 1. In this case, it would be a G7. G would be the 5 chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. G7, 1, G7, 1. So that's the way I'm going to play it here. So what you're going to learn out of this is a little bit of the chord changes between a C chord, F chord, C chord, G7, C chord, F chord, C chord, G7. And that's my intent, to get where your hand is comfortable, not just with a single note. Certainly we can play it with a single note in the bass. C, C, F, C, G, C, G, C. So if you want to do that, just go ahead with it. Go ahead and do that. C, G, F, G, C, then G, C, C, G, C, D. That's the way the chords fit. That's the way the tune fits with a single note in the bass. Now I'm going to play with the chords: the C chord, F chord, and a G7. And you can break it up if you want. But I'll break it up sometimes, and then I'll leave it sustained sometimes. Here we go. G7, G7, C. G7, C, G7, E, E, G7. And you can end with an arpeggio there. Now I want to show you the G7 before I'm done. A G7 is just 1, 3, 5, 7 on G. So in this case, when I'm playing that without moving my hand, I'm taking that F and putting it right there. I'm taking the B right there, right down there, and the melody has my D. Watch. Here we go. There's my melody right there with the D. Okay, so the G7. Now if you want the letters to that, just like all of my pieces, if you go to LetterNotePlayer.com, you can download free sheet. It has the lyrics there with the song. It has the bass progression. It has hands together, the notes that I've given you. Now I didn't spell out the chords on this. On most of them I spell out the chords. Maybe I'll go back in there and put the chords in right there so that you've got them. But you have the bass progression, you got the right hand, you got the hands together, and the words. LetterNotePlayer.com. If there's another piece that you want the letters for, so that you can see the bass progression, the chord progression, the melody, the notes in the melody, just drop me a line and I'll try to put it up.